Absolutely. Anyone that has been watching the Hotline Live knows this is the place to be for all your breaking news when it comes to Scottish football. And I understand you've got quite a big story for Rangers fans tonight again.
It's a biggie in terms of, it's not takeover-wise, obviously, but just in terms of the football. And I know that a lot of Rangers fans have probably seen enough football for this season. But the one thing that's still there for them to play for, the one adventure that they've still got to enjoy, is obviously the Europa League. And on Thursday night, obviously they'll have their work cut out. A team that is lost at home to Queen's Park, to St Mirren and Motherwell, has to go away to the Lions Den against Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. I don't think that many people will be holding out a great deal of hope for Rangers. Even the most kind of ardent Rangers supporters might be worried about it. But there is some good news on that front. It's our understanding, a story that I've just put up online, a major boost for interim boss Barry Ferguson, is that both Liam Balogun and John Souttar have put their hands up already in defiance of the medical science to make themselves available for selection. Obviously, Balogun returned at half-time during the Motherwell game. I thought he made a big improvement to them defensively in that 45 minutes. But I think, you know what it's like with the sports science these days. I think they wanted a more gentle sort of maybe 10, 15 minutes at the end of that game. But the situation required emergency action yet again for the second game in a trot for Barry Ferguson. Having taken off Clinton Enciala in the first match at Kilmarnock during the first half, I thought Robin Cropper was pretty lucky to survive that one, but I think it was a flip of the coin. He's obviously went with the more experienced, but Robin Cropper, I think, let the team down again at the weekend against Motherwell. Rangers end up 2-0 down again, and Barry Ferguson this time stayed patient enough before making the change at half time. But that required Balogun saying, "Yeah, I'm ready and willing to do that." Listen, I think wild horses couldn't have kept him off the pitch. He was so keen to get involved and get back out there. That seems to be the case again. I think both players trained today with the squad. I think it was a fairly intense training session. And as long, barring any sort of physical reactions in the morning, I think they'll both be on that flight. I'd be very surprised if they don't make the foundations of the Rangers defence against Fenerbahce on Thursday. As I said, they've been struggling with injuries. They've got a record of it. So I don't think you can ever say with complete certainty. But as long as they wake up tomorrow morning and get out of beds okay, I expect them to be on that flight. And I think that is really big news for Barry Ferguson. Because you've obviously seen how frustrated and how concerned he's been about how flimsy the centre of that Rangers defence has been looking. I think these are his best two defenders by a stretch, by a considerable stretch, which tells you something about the mess that this Rangers squad is in, given that Balogun's now 36. But I think that the Rangers interim boss and his backroom team will be quietly absolutely ecstatic, because it is a long shot over there, but it's just become, this will help. Whatever chance they've got, it's a far better chance with the two best central defenders available.
Absolutely. I mean, Balogun, as you say, turns 37 in June, which says a lot about the state of the Rangers squad. He's probably still their best defender, you'd say. You took the words out of my mouth there, though, because no harm to Robin Cropper and Clinton Enciala, but these two coming in, it's a massive jump in quality at the back for Rangers.
Well, do you know something? Balogun might be 36, pushing 37, but he's still got pace. He's still rapid over the ground, and that's going to be really, really, really important. But I think bigger than that, the two of them, and Souttar's quick as well. He's quick over the ground. But I think more than that, I think the physicality, their defensive attributes, their willingness to put their head on anything. I'm not sure that Robin Cropper really comes into that sort of category. He, I think, would probably consider himself to be a more cultured sort of play out from the back centre half. I'm not sure that I'd agree with that either, because I think that the two, Balogun and Souttar, are more than capable of doing that, but they don't mind the nitty gritty. They love the defensive side of it, and that seems to have been a difficult part for Robin Robert to get his head around. I don't think he's really looked as if he's cut out for it at all. But a couple of big kind of stalwarts like that coming back into the setup. As I said, I still think it's long odds for Rangers, but that makes it just a little bit more achievable.
Yeah. John makes the point that Balogun will likely miss the Celtic match as he finds it hard to string a few games in a row. I mean, that's obviously hearsay, but Barry Ferguson, I suppose he'd want him available for every match between now and the end of the season.
I think that's exactly right. And I think that Barry Ferguson has probably been quite impressed with Balogun. I think Balogun is a natural leader of men. And I think they're in short supply. I was talking how they certainly have been. I think Balogun speaks in a way which commands a bit of respect. I think he sounds like a leader.
Yeah.
I think that he's really highly motivated, and clearly he's made an impression on Barry Ferguson and his coaching staff, because they're turning to him a big moment, and they're putting their trust in him. I think they feel he's a guy, and there's not too many of them around that they can hang their hat on, and feel pretty assured that whatever the circumstances, this guy will be 100%. So that's interesting. And do you know what? The way that these things go nowadays, and there is this influence from sports science, and obviously earlier in the season, Philip Clement made decisions based around sports science. He basically said the sports scientists were picking his team. And that was, what was that? St Mirren away and Motherwell away. Rangers dropped points, effectively torpedoed whatever chance they still might have had of making it competitive in the title race this season. I think that there's a way of handling players, especially a guy like Balogun at 36. There's not a computer in the world that knows his body better than he does himself. If he says he's ready, he's ready. And I think what you do is that you have to manage that. I don't think that Liam Balogun would have expected to get involved in too many training sessions. I think it'd be a case of they'll be very keen to wrap him up in cotton wool and just have him ready for as many matches as he can possibly be